for the hat trick. Almost gets it. And Andre doing an excellent job just to keep this play alive. And then saves it with a huge block on Ahmed. Maybe some nerves coming out for this bronze medal match. Sometimes you just try to survive through the first switch until you can sort of get into the rhythm. And Ahmed couldn't have walked under the net and placed that in better spots. To the seam again. Qatar seems to have the scouting report of going at the seam of Andre, and that is a perfectly placed poke shot. That's a difficult shot to hit. Turning athleticism of Cherif and then the speed of Ahmed.
Just kind of pulling up last second.
Well off the net. The range on that swing from Ahmed is tremendous.
Ahmed to crunch that ball from that far off the net. That was get in good position to attack and maintain that deceptiveness and maintain all his options offensively.
And that is just an incredible high contact on Andre, and he's sending this line flat over top. Big swing from Ahmed into the angle. Had to go very sharp to get that.
Watch Andre jumping, pressing big into the angle. More angle.
And there was always more line on that. Looked like Cherif made a read. And that is a massive, massive block from Andre Loyola. Goodness, that's a big move with that left hand into the angle.
Sternum. A little oof on that.
It was that exact block that led them to a big quarterfinal win over the Italians Paolo Nicolai and Sam Codafava. As Andre, the stats only had him at 3. I had him at about 6. Now, math isn't my specialty. How big has Andre's blocking been, and how valuable is it when you're playing a team as
a defender with the prowess of a George? If you can rely on Andre to take away some of those powerful shots, it just makes your team defense all the greater. And we talked about how, see Andre, it seems like he's improving at blocking, and and he started at a very high point, of course, but just more and more he becomes one of the world's best. Ace against them to start this match. They've come back beautifully here, firmly in control of this first set, it seems.
And George, again, he's taking matters into his own hands as much as possible. Now, that play started with a phenomenal read from Andre. He's one of the best defenders in the world, and he said that Ahmed, because they actually did a statistical look at it, that Ahmed touches more balls on defense than anyone on the planet. No option taken. What a set that is from George. Ahmed's all over it. Big chance in transition for Qatar. It'll be another swing for Ahmed. And a perfectly placed little line drop shot from Tijan. Excellent. Sort of fading outside that antenna. Andre does that. Excellent turn down the line from Tijan. Andre.
Maybe Cherif can, kind of get in a little bit better position on Andre, either set up on that line a little bit earlier, feed him towards Ahmed in the backcourt. That certainly helps.
Speak of the devil. But there was no infraction on that from Cherif, just a huge block. And so George will now get his second work in serve receive. Now Ahmed's all over. What a dig that is. And what a dig that is in return from George. Oh, my goodness. The transition set from Andre. Remarkable. And then the precision on the put away from George.
About how necessary it is to be precise. You can see that shot from George.
And George all over. Not only all over, puts Andre up perfectly to put it away.
Fortunately for Brazil, because it did seem like Andre had kind of given up on it almost. Which, you know, it makes it look like they're kind of doubling up on Andre's angle.
Set drifts a bit far outside Ahmed. What a nice swing that is down the seam. Phil Dahlhauser and Nick Lucena both said there is no team that's more difficult to score on than Qatar, just from the sheer athleticism. The ball, he said, balls that would go down. Oh my goodness. That is a hanging swat. Andre, almost an alley-oop. Set number 2 is underway. Brazil, one set away now from claiming a bronze medal at the Beach Pro Tour Finals. And George just continues to play one of the most flawless performances I've seen from him all season. Oh, what a serve from Cherif. Decently well handled from George, and then a massive swing down the seam from George. Not quite an ace. It's going to be trouble for Qatar. Ahmed's all over the cut shot. One of the first shots we've seen George not side out on. Look at that pickup from George. And then Cherif putting it away. So difficult to get the ball to go down.
Get in that line, make him do something else against his kind of line of approach, so to speak.
Again, Cherif coming out of the middle. And look at that. Little no-looky cookie line turn, as our good friend Casey Patterson might say. Little tempo play from Qatar. Andre's ready for it. Phenomenal work at the net from Andre.
A little bit. So Andre there early, able to set up, press.
He just floats. It's a bit like Taylor Crabb, where you wonder, are you even touching the sand?
Yeah, I mean, Taylor moves on top of the sand. There's no kind of foot indentations at all. I kind of like to say right choice, wrong execution, unfortunately, for Qatar on that one.
Right back to it. Love the fearless response from Cherif. It's always interesting to see how a player responds, either to an error, to getting blocked.
Yeah, it is, and it is critical, you know, not only to have this kind of short-term memory that we talk about, but to remind yourself that if I'm making the right decisions, that's what's important, right? And certainly Qatar making the right decisions, just being out-kicked on the execution side.
Against Nikolai and Kotofava, that you'd love to see sort of a slow-mo freeze frame of George and then have people guess where he's going to hit it. And Andre, he knew where Ahmed was going there. That's a huge block, putting Brazil up 13-8.
Certainly, but I would agree with you. It's just almost been a flawless performance from Brazil, and, you know, that's kind of what happens.
And somehow...
And he does a push-up for good measure.
Just a little burpee. He hasn't gotten enough serves this week. Big rip down the line from Andre. One of the elements you've spoken about.
He's kind of angle sometimes, line sometimes, seam sometimes, you know what I mean? So it's hard to sort of pinpoint which, if any of those, are the right decisions. That makes that frustration management a little bit more difficult. That makes sense.
Just making all the right choices with his shots. And so Brazil, full steam ahead at the moment, up 5. And another perfect swing on that quick tempo play. And a bit of either a miscommunication, accidental double up. A little bit out of system for Qatar. Bit of trouble. Who am I saying's in trouble? What can't Ahmed do? Hurry. Neither Brazilian player giving them many answers. And that's just untouchable. Andre using every inch of his 6'7" frame to get that high and over Cherif. Set is a bit far off the net for Andre, and that is no problem. That is a massive, massive hitting window from claiming a bronze medal at the Beach Pro Tour Finals. And that is going to do it. Andre Loyola, hang out there for a second, celebrate, Enjoy it. The bronze medal